All right, so we're going to go to our last topic without a smooth transition, and then we're going to kind of close up. And so this one I wanted to put in there, and this is really just to have everyone be aware that the TPP is in the news and that this will be brought into the lame duck session. And so it's something that people that haven't read the 5,000-page bill yet, you might want to get on your research and start looking at this trade bill and decide whether or not it's for you. So the two articles in there, the first one on the right, or I'm sorry, the one on the left from 538, it's just talking about how the White House is pressuring Congress to approve the 12-nation deal in the lame duck session. Obama's Council of Advisors put out a report saying that if it isn't passed, then a China-backed trade agreement will take its place. That could put U.S. manufacturers at a disadvantage when they try to sell to customers in Japan and other Asian nations. And then on the right, the TPP from the Daily Caller just kind of talks about the partnership and reiterates a little bit that both the Democratic and Republican nominees strongly criticizing the agreement. We'll see which one of them gets elected tonight and how far they'll really go. I do think that Trump will not do anything with it. I think that he doesn't support it at all. But I do think Hillary will support a revision of it at least and put parts in there. Then as far as just links for pro and for, so the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is very big proponent of the TPP, and so they have a lot of information on their website. I put a link in there. And then against the TPP is Stop the TPP, has a pretty comprehensive site where you can go and get involved and do stuff that way. So, Sean, how about you? What are your thoughts on the TPP and the slide or the topic in general?
Well, I mean, it's obviously very, very important, and all the antics of this, this election season have kind of taken away from a lot of the deeper policy talk. If you're not hunting for it, then you're not getting it. We all know very, very well the helping things, other than to like fuel the flames, no matter what side you're at. There's lots of pundits actually, at this, the last couple of days, they've been making fun of people that are on the fence. Like, really, at this point, can anyone really be undecided if they're thinking between the left and the right? I mean, it's one thing if you're thinking, am I going to go Hillary or Stein? But even at that, at this point, I mean, there's so many, for lack of a better term, razor edges that have been crossed, and people have taken their sides. And so I think when it comes to this sort of thing, I think it's one of the most important things that we can, as a people and as a nation, we can focus our attention on and push our representatives to fight against, despite the fact that maybe a China-backed agreement take its place. We know, or at least I feel that the nation will be able to in the future be able to or get a trade deal that only, because what they're trying to sell is, oh, well, it's going to help people. Like in Seattle, especially, we've got a lot of, we've got a big trade market here, with our ports. And so you got a lot of people that are pro TPP because, it's helping them stay employed. But, at the end of the day, and companies are able to take precedent and take countries to a tribunal that, because they want to implement a carbon tax and
right.
They don't want to pay that, then, I mean, that's just, to me, that's, this isn't a case of the enemy, the perfect's the enemy of the good. This is just, that's something that is just, that's far too much control for corporations when we're already trying. I was talking earlier about trying to give them less control over our electoral decisions, and here they are trying to take even more control, because they really are trying to take control, even more control than they already have in all aspects of life. So to me, that's just too big of there's too many disadvantages to to not see past the few pros that there are for the TPP. So I think in the long run, you know, even though Hillary's, you know, saying she's going to back it, is she going to really? I don't know, but Trump definitely won't. There's no way that the people that he surrounds himself with. So, you know, I think as long as you go to the left, hopefully we can do something to fight it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we can. What's interesting to me is that there's a reason why this bill is being written. So, meaning that our government noticed that there's some kind of problem with those countries, and with or there's some kind of opportunity in order to create this bill. And so I want to know, like, what is that? What was the impetus for creating the bill in and of itself? And then secondly, I agree with what you're saying is the tribunals, or allowing corporations to sue counties or cities or states for blocking certain provisions in the agreement. Everyone can say, oh yeah, well they won't do that here. It's like, well, yeah, we know that those provisions are generally being written for other countries to enforce it, but it's only a matter of time, or it would only take one vested company or one, you know, thing for them to be like, oh, well, we're going to sue, you know, Cleveland, Ohio, because they're not going to let us do this here. The other provision I didn't like was not allowing people to fix stuff. It's like there's certain provisions in there where people wouldn't be able to fix appliances or technology based on that stuff. And so it's just like that you see something in there and you're just like, face value, you're like, what in the world? Why wouldn't I be able to fix a dryer if I want, if the dryer's fixed and I know what part it needs?
Because they want you to buy a new one.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So for everyone out there, just read it as best you can, look at both sides, and make your decision, because it might come to the time where we're going to really need to pressure a lame duck Congress to stop it, if that is something that you feel is detrimental to us moving forward as a country.